I got grapes coming over, and then I'm also doing muscadines coming up over here. And then I'm actually I'm letting these blackberries go over. I don't know if I'll do wine with the muscadines. You can eat them off the table, but I may. No, I'm not a real chemist, Courtney.
It's summer orchard.
I don't know that I have any blackberries for you today, but I might. That's what I'm saying. This is the time of the year where it gets hot enough that you don't get a lot of new fruit, but you get a lot of vine growth, and then the fall can be exciting if you have the right varieties. This is the holy moly moment in the garden, meaning the garden's just overwhelmed by heat finally. So the flowers do really well. The zinnias pop. The girls love those. We should have 4 or 5 more colors still coming up. There's some lime green and some yellow that are pretty great, but they've been real patient this year, meaning annoying us by not popping quite yet. The pinks, the purples, the oranges, the reds hit early this year. Tomatoes will produce for a little bit longer, and then it gets so hot that they just stop until probably late September, and then it's a race because we'll put on a ton of tomatoes in the fall, and the question is, will we have enough time for them to get ripe? I wish people could see you eating it behind the camera and just the amount of joy. Get those bright orange ones. Those are actually ripe, even though they look like a normal unripe. That's a super, super sweet cherry tomato variety. We have so much volunteer basil this year, basil that we didn't plant, that's why I let it go to seed sometimes. Those seed heads will just blow around the garden. It helps with pest control, so next year I'll have basil popping up in between stuff, and it keeps some of the bad bugs away. A little bit more natural, not all the same stuff in the same places. So it's a fun time to be out here, but we're actually just on the kind of the decline of a lot of the summer productivity. I'll show you some of that in the orchard in a minute too, but it's a fun time. I'm giving away tons of tomatoes, lots of basil. There's a smattering of, yeah, there's blackberries and raspberry in there, but the early fruit has come and gone. Some of these are fall bearing, so we'll have some late
Your strawberries, they didn't do anything?
No, we get a little bit of strawberry. That far back left corner, you could see that strawberry plant if you want. I'll feed you some more, and then we can go to the orchard. Grapes come really early, and they came and went this year. See what you think about these. Those should be crowd pleasers. So these are grapevines. And then these are blackberry. And then way down here, these more tender ones, those are muscadine. So those will come up over. These little thinner, tender vines. Well, muscadine, if you're in Texas, you're probably going to do better with those as a home grower. All right, folks, Summer Orchard Update 2025. Every summer is different. Every season is different. That's what makes this exciting and humbling. You learn that you are not in control. But it's been a pretty good summer out here. We had a bunch of apples. We absolutely dominated figs this year and still have quite a few. I think we have 1 apple left on the tree. I'll show you. A bunch of figs still coming. We've got pears like crazy, but it's not quite time for those. I'll show you and tell you why. We did really, really, really well with plums, but they're pretty much gone, but I'll show you the remnant of that. And then we'll talk about some other things that are going and growing on, as they say. All right, you want to see some figs? Come on. This is our multiple variety pear, no fruit left. And I'm experimenting here. You can see this one shot up from the rootstock. A lot of times on fruit trees, you've grafted a really strong, healthy rootstock. You've grafted a different fruit onto that. So what grows out of that rootstock isn't necessarily what you bought or the one you wanted, but it's usually a light kind fruit. So we'll see if there's anything good on that. These are mostly Asian pears. We got a couple of really good ones this year, but never a massive producer, that one. So this is one of our, I call it a brown turkey fig. I'm pretty sure that's the right name, but I could be off. Backyard gardening, sometimes you just make up your own names. But you can see a bunch of unripe figs, these, and then you can see some kind of starting to ripen, and then varying degrees of ripeness. So there's a pretty good one. You could pick and eat that one. That one ought to be pretty good. Yeah, thousands of figs right now. And you can tell that the animals like them because there's a bunch of half-eaten ones from squirrels or birds, and they'll pick at them. And we have 5 of these trees, so there's no real need to fight over an almost ripe fig. Go ahead and get you a good one that you like. So I plant these on the tree line. In North Texas, because we do get freezes, obviously, these are more kind of tropical warm weather, but these will die back all the way to the ground. Not every year, but most years. But because the root system has grown so robust, it'll grow back completely this size within one season. So once you've got them established, you can do really well, even in North Texas with our freezes. We spot in some crepe myrtles in them, sometimes for privacy, but also just the flowering, bringing in the pollinators and the right bugs and bees and all that. So it helps with the fruit trees. More figs here, so there you go. You can see a very ripe one at the same time. So they just kind of grow in cycles. So you've got a brand new little hard, dark green, and then you've got some lightening and softening, and then you get down in here into some ready to eat for sure. And so you can come out every day and keep picking. Ooh, that one's real soft. You can pick them every day because they kind of ripen and cycle. So that's a season-long fun thing for the kids. So these are our big, hard pears, right? These will eat like an apple, crisp, crunchy, juicy, but they don't get super sweet until the fall. They need as much sun as we can give them. So you can see they start to blush. I'm excited about this guy. So this is a brand new apple tree it's a yellow delicious. It's really here to pollinate some others. I got a Honeycrisp and some others. This is one of the fun things about a backyard garden because there's no reason I should grow these apples in North Texas. They're not going to fruit every year. But when you have the space, when you have an acre or more, even a half acre or more, you can start to experiment. So if I got yellow delicious apples every 3rd or 4th year, it'd be fun, they'd be good. But really, this is here to help some other trees. Arkansas Black, Honeycrisp, Fuji, Anna, Dorset Gold. Anna and Dorset Gold will produce here all the time. So I'll go show you those in a minute. More figs here. Crepe myrtles, kind of every other. So this is plums. I want to say methley. And you can see on the ground how many plums we had this year. So these are some of our last plums. But you can see all the ones that dropped early. So there's a little pit. But I've got to be a little more attentive to get some larger plums. You got to thin these really well. You can see how we let these limbs droop. And I pruned this one big time this year. Still had thousands and thousands. You can just see how many of them dropped. This is the Honeycrisp, which I am really, really, really hoping will do well. So it's kind of a battle of mulching really well and keeping those grass and weeds back, but also not bothering it too much during the season. So not always pretty, and in the summer, everything wants to grow, and I don't want to bother stuff and knock it back too much, so you kind of let some of that unruliness happen in the garden this time of year and clean it up after the main growing season. But that's the Honeycrisp we have a lot of hope in. This is Nectarine, and these don't really do well. Again, experimental, but you can see some of those little guys that will, it never got real big this year. We had a couple bigger ones, but the pests get to them, and I've only got one, so I don't give it a lot of special attention. Here you go. But I'm not super confident that those will be good fruit this year. Again, one of the problems with growing a ton of variety is you don't necessarily obsess about any one thing because you got so much going on. I'm totally okay with that. I live with that kind of willful inefficiency because you have some surprises from year to year. But if you've seen our garden orchard tours before, if you've seen orchard tours before here, you know, this is my favorite tree in the garden and in the orchard. And this is the last apple of the year, and it's the pests have already gotten to it, but I left it on just to kind of show everybody. This is an Anna apple tree, and we were covered up this year. We ate a bunch. We made some turnovers. You can make good pie with these. These are like subtly sweet, so they're not overpowering like a Honeycrisp or a Red Delicious or anything like that. But they're kind of like, I've never had this before, and I think that's super fun to grow some things that you can't buy in the store And these are very early growers, so they're finished in early to mid-July for sure. But I think that's a really pretty tree. I planted that from a bare root. We had a limb break this year and I just left it and all the fruit did well. So I'll prune that back towards the end of the season. Really the last thing in the orchard right now is I got a bunch of new berry bushes. So next year we'll have some second year canes to do really well there. But where I've lost a few trees, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm coming back and either putting berries in or trying to find some cool trees I've never tried before. So next update, next year, might have something even different to show you. In 2 or 3 years, might have a bunch of new fruit. So that's it for summer 2025. We had a great year so far. It's not over, especially with those pears. We'll keep enjoying the figs. The pears will hit really, really hard, and apples are pretty much done. But we got mulberries and other stuff popping around the yard, but as far as in the orchard, that's what we got. Hey, so if you're looking to put a backyard orchard in or buy a property that maybe has one or figure out if you already have enough room for one, holler at us. This is what we do. We help people buy and sell properties with big backyards, lots of acreage. By lots, I mean for a home, right? So big backyard, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 10 acres, not farm and ranch. We do sell homes in neighborhoods, but we specialize in neighborhoods and small acreage properties. So if you want something like this, if you want something better than this, give us a call. We'll help you find it or make it happen. ToddTremontiTeam.com is what we do all over DFW. And if you want to do this anywhere else in the country, we know folks who do it probably where you live. We'll get you connected with them too. Let's talk next season.